everyone, Ben Strum from Prodport. In this video, we're going to analyze the product page from the brand Kylie Cosmetics. We'll take a look at three things in particular: what they're doing well, the tech stack to get them there, and what they could do better, all with an emphasis on e-commerce conversion rate optimization. We're going to focus on one product in particular because when you look at a brand and even across brands, in general, the product page has the same look and feel. It's just the actual product content that changes on a per product basis. This is an awesome brand to take inspiration from. Truly an iconic American cosmetics direct-to-consumer brand, founded in 2015 by celebrity Kylie Jenner. And from what I can tell based on my research, looks like they're doing about 30 million per year. So a really nice sized D2C brand built on Shopify. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So first, we're going to take a look at what is Kylie Cosmetics doing well on their product page from an e-commerce conversion rate optimization perspective. We'll start at the top and do the above the fold, focusing on the buy box, but we're going to go all the way below the fold to the bottom of the product page. Now, in reference to the buy box, this is a powerhouse buy box. Really amazing job. And I think first it's important to appreciate what is on this page. So even though Shopify has a 100 variant limit, they've done extra work to take all of these variants they have, and it's a lot, right? They have all these different shades, these different colors, so on and so on, well above 100, but they're doing the extra technical work to put all this from a merchandising perspective at the parent product level. So really awesome to see that. And then it's really nice to see that despite all these variants, they have variant specific galleries for each different color. So, when I'm selecting a color, I'm seeing assets specific to that color as opposed to a mix. Now, what's even more impressive is when you start looking at the actual assets that they have, a really diverse set of assets that's really checking all the boxes. So yes, in slot one, they have a pretty standard product image on a neutral background, but they're not just using the same type of image over and over. You see a before-after image here with real people that is extremely helpful and important in the cosmetics and beauty space. You're seeing all different shades and what the product looks like as a consumer based on what color I am, what kind of shade I have, so on and so on. I can really envision the product on myself. So really nice use of a diverse set of assets. Not using just images, videos, extremely important, and then love seeing these infographics as well. So truly an amazing job from an asset perspective that I would imagine is heavily contributing to a highly converting product page. Moving on to the rest of the buy box. So really love that they have this breadcrumb here. So it's easy to navigate to other aspects of the site and understand where exactly you are, which is even more important because they're sending a lot of traffic directly to the product page, which we'll talk about shortly. Really nice and helpful product name, not using too much nomenclature. You could argue Power Plush is a bit internal, but really like how they're talking, obviously it's a foundation, but they're highlighting one of the key benefits of this in terms of the long wear. As if you look at the actual product descriptions, you can wear this for up to 12 hours. So really great product name here. Love to see the product badge being used. You can use this, call it a bestseller, new, whatever the case may be. But then going back to the merchandising, really awesome to see how helpful these variant names are. So yes, it's technically one N, but it's explaining the shade here. Fair with neutral, subtle, peachy undertones. And they do that for every single shade. So just extremely helpful to help the consumer understand the product even better. Love to see the use of accordions here. That's a great way to have a lot of information, but not overload a person because they can really choose what they want to expand and consume. Badges are extremely helpful, definitely a plus there, and really love this cross-sell that they're doing. So it's very prominent. This is prime real estate. This is where I add to cart and purchase. And they're not showing me another foundation. They're not taking me away from here. They're increasing average order value by giving me a complementary product. So really awesome to see this above the fold. Like I said, amazing buy box experience. And it doesn't stop there. So when you go down below the fold, awesome use of heavy use of rich A+ content. Really great to see, just to see it in general, but theirs is extremely meaningful. So they have a clear, understandable value proposition, from the celebrity founder. So, if the product description isn't enough, there's a lot more information I could get here in terms of the value prop, why they love it, how to use it, which is extremely important. Showing a video here of someone putting it on, which is a lot of the content that someone would expect for this type of product. Showing re-emphasizing the merchandising in terms of all of the different options you have to choose from. And then again, we talked about this really nice upsell here. This is, an insane upsell. So it's not just one product that goes with this. It's building a makeup routine. So it's a contextual upsell, which I imagine heavily increases to the average order value. Love to see the real results, right? This is expanding upon the asset that's in slot 2, which is the before after, and including it with what people are saying. So a mix of results, testimonials, so on and so on. Reviews are obvious. You really need to have those. And then I like that, I really complimented and love to see the upsells they're doing. Excuse me, the cross sells. But it's nice that they have up and down sells as well. But I love where they put it, which is lower on the page, right? I don't want to take them away. They came to this product page for a reason. Let them make a decision if they want to buy or if it's not for them. And chances are, if they scroll to the bottom of the page, maybe a complimentary or an up or a down sell, a different product is relevant to browse. So really love, just an amazing above and below the fold product experience. And the other thing I would mention that they're doing extremely well is, and it makes sense, they have a great product page. But if you look at their ad library, they're sending a lot of traffic. Most of their ads go directly to the product page. We could just click on a few here. Now, the benefit to that, every page on any site, especially e-commerce, has a bounce rate. So the more pages that someone has to visit before they get to a product page to buy, inherently the more people you're going to lose, right? If you're sending them to a one-off landing page or whatever the case may be. Really love, and I imagine it's extremely positive from a conversion rate optimization perspective, that Kylie Cosmetics is sending people directly to the product page. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the tech stack that gets them to this really world-class product page. So this isn't an exhaustive list. I just pulled out some of the key components of their tech stack that I think are relevant to the product page. So they're on Shopify. They use Klaviyo and Attentive for email and SMS marketing. Important to see, that this is definitely data-driven decisions, right? They have a pretty advanced analytics stack. They're not just using Google Analytics. They have enterprise-grade Adobe Analytics. On the site, some things that are helping out quite a bit, I imagine: Algolia for advanced search, Octane AI for quizzes and zero-party data, and then 460 is a UGC app, primarily pulling Instagram content. The last piece, and arguably the most important, you can tell they're doing a lot of testing and personalization. So Optimizely, Bazaar Voice, Nosto, all of these have different components of personalization. And then Optimizely heavily being focused on A/B testing from a CRO perspective, right? So it's not a coincidence that you're seeing this before and after in slot 2, that they're using video above the fold. All of this, I would imagine, is being tested and are data-driven decisions. So really nice tech stack and an even better end-user experience. Having said that, no brand is perfect and there's always things that you could do better. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at what are the things that Kylie Cosmetics can improve upon to further increase conversion rate on their product page. So if we look at the buy box, this would need to be split tested, but to me, the product description seems a bit technical. I love to see product descriptions that are incorporating voice of customer. A lot of the reviews I read talked about how this is lightweight, so on and so on, and they went a bit more into the technicalities of the product. So again, would need to be A/B tested, but would love to see a bit more voice of customer driven product description. The other thing that's super important in the buy box that I think they've missed the mark a little bit is a better guarantee shipping, getting over objections. They have 100% shade match guarantee. that's a little bit difficult to interpret. I would love to see a return policy here, how long I can expect it to ship, so on and so on. So just a few things, I think I would tweak above the fold. Below the fold and just in the product in general, I would use a bit more user-generated content on the product page. A lot of this, even the video, yes, it's showing a person, but it's clear that this is a shoot, right? That Kylie Cosmetics has done. And it is interesting because they have 460, which is an influencer and UGC app, and I'm not seeing too much of it on the product page. So I would definitely explore adding more UGC above and below the fold. And pulling in some more of the amazing influencers that they have, even though it's hard to argue they're using Kylie Jenner, who's their founder, so not too much of a knock there. But the biggest thing that I would focus on if I was Kylie Cosmetics is bridging the gap between product and marketing. So what do I mean by that? So if you look at their ads, you want to look at what is the intent of the customer. So in this video, this is pure user-generated content, someone using it, a real person, and talking about the product. But that doesn't matter, right? They have a static product page. No matter where you come from, where you're located, or what you're doing, you're going to see this information as it is. So I would move more to a dynamic product page that adapts to the consumer. So if I clicked on this ad, if they're using targeting, they could leverage the targeting. But even without any targeting, I would incorporate more user-generated content, given the fact that that's what hooked this person and that's what they're interested in. The other aspect, on the other side, if someone clicked on this still image that's an infographic, when they came to the product page, now this is going to a collection page, but you're likely clicking on one of the first recommendations. So this infographic, especially if they're on mobile, it's unlikely they're going to, navigate to the last image. I would put this probably in slot 2 or 3 and just use more of an informative product page. So that's one thing I'd love to see. And just going a bit further on adapting to the end consumer, especially in the cosmetic space, looking at location. Right. And I tested this out with changing a VPN to a bunch of different locations. Again, the product page remains static. But for example, if I'm in Florida and it's humid versus if I'm in Seattle, adapting to the environment to say I am in Florida, maybe talking about the humidity, or even if someone isn't in Florida, maybe they're in Maryland or New York or whatever the case may be, and it's summertime. Adapting to the different seasons, but then talking about how it's good for winter as well. So would love to just see more of an adaptive and personalized experience on the product page. And that's probably the biggest area that I would focus on to further increase conversion rate. Nonetheless, just an amazing product page. I hope you found value out of this video and got some inspiration for things that you can incorporate into your brand. And thanks very much for watching the video. Take care.